Hey Tom, so great to see you again. I'm excited to chat and for you to share a bit about us working together.
Likewise, Elena. I'm excited then to be here. It has been a while, but I'm excited to share all of the things I've learned and just my shift in mindset over time.
Awesome. Okay, so Tom was a coaching client. We worked together for, I think it ended up being about 6 months total-ish, 5 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't you start by just sharing a bit about what inspired you to reach out to a coach and then what
Yeah.
specifically you liked about my approach?
Sure, of course. Yeah. I so like most people was feeling stuck in my kind of day to day. I have been working for that so the same company for quite been a while now, and just felt like, is this going to be my life ongoing for however long? And was really looking for a coach who could help me navigate, and then give me specific tactics on how to shift my mindset and like figure out what I wanted that to do in the future, and how that and like tactically to do that. So when I was looking online, I saw your page, and that had then also referenced your that like link so like LinkedIn profile too. I so really liked your approach of it's not just about the details of like career, but also about like NLP, and then a like mindset shift, which is where I truly felt like that I needed to learn and grow to achieve my goals moving into the future. So saw all of the great reviews and then testimonials. So then I figured, why not? Let's give it a shot. I had never done coaching before. So then wasn't sure, but then so then I wasn't sure what to expect, but am then really pleased with how it has all turned out. And have loved the sessions and the journey that I went on.
Awesome. So happy that you loved it. So you mentioned being at one place for a while, not really sure, is this going to be my whole life? Uh, can you share a bit specifically about what was your main challenges, pain points
Yeah,
that you wanted to
yeah,
work together?
sure, sure. Yeah, I felt like that. I so in my current job that I didn't have like so I didn't have like as much input into kind of the larger strategic choices that were being made, and had I then gathered all these skills over time, but didn't feel like I was then utilizing them in the best way possible to achieve the impact, so that I felt like that I should be um and achieving. Um so that was kind of the like primary focus of like what I started out with, in a pain point of just feeling like of that I wanted to have a then better seat at the table, and then ability to shape the choices and so direction of where that strategy went, that like for my clients. So um that was definitely kind of a main priority. And I had never taken the time to sit down and then evaluate like what my strengths are. I had always just assumed them. So strengths work on top of the value work was
Mhm.
super helpful, to help like then provide specifics that help guide on my goal front, and what that I now know better, but then the ways to speak about myself in general, from a job point of view, but also a life point of view as well.
Mm. Yeah, one thing that I just always across the board, no matter who I'm working with, explain up front is there's a lot more complexity to it than people think, you know?
100%.
And
Yep. Yep.
even just beyond, right, the job search pieces like the resume, the LinkedIn, the cover, right? There's the pieces that everybody knows like have to be done. And then there's all these other things that should be done if you want to have a really successful goal and a really
Yeah.
um a process of finding something new that feels really aligned and not just the next thing.
Yep.
So,
Because one of the first things that you said to me was like, I go deep like with my clients. And at the time, I really didn't know like back then like what that meant, but I sure do now. So yeah, like that was definitely like it is so much more so than just like finding a job role that you like. It is about then aligning your like true self and then your subconscious to who you want that like to become, right? And I had it kind of loosely understood that then, but not that like to the degree that I do now, and the way that it like truly shapes who we are and the way that we act and interact then with everyone else. So that was incredible for me, and has impacted me in so many ways beyond just job and career.
yeah. Yeah, no, definitely go deep. And
You can definitely
it's
go deep.
it's
Yeah,
important.
yeah, it's important.
Okay, so you just broadly spoke a little bit to some of the transformation, I guess. Could you give some specific examples of how you were transformed through this process?
Sure. Yeah, I felt like I had a certain level of confidence so in my skills, in my and like working abilities, but I I didn't deep down feel as confident in them as I might have thought. So, but then during this process, I then definitely like I definitely felt like that I emerged so at the other side, excuse me, of feeling that confidence in knowing the way to speak to others and then about the things that I need, right? I think I had kind of been going been like through life here a bit of just feeling like I was been doing okay, but not framing it up as I want to be and do great things. And I didn't know how to achieve those things or to be the person now that I want to become, right? So I think that was a huge part of what I like learned is that you have to bring that energy now
Mm,
of then be the person who you intend on then becoming better being. It starts now. It's not a future thing. So I was able to take those skills and like applied them, and I saw my confidence and then like felt it grow in both
mm,
just the way I speak and the way that I like interact like so with people, and knowing that other people are in their that like own realities too of that of that my reality is not the same as than someone else's, and like that's totally okay and fine. And we have to find a way that I like to communicate that allows us to show up as so like ourselves in the most often in the most authentic way possible.
so you said you increased your confidence, you felt that go up a lot. What did
Mhm.
that increase in confidence do for you or allow you to have?
It's a great question. It allowed me to have then the mindset shift of that I can achieve anything and that I don't have to feel limited um by these self-imposed baggages that I had been carrying all my life. And that when that when looking for jobs, that I didn't have to feel like I wasn't good enough because I knew I was. So
Mhm.
it was a total like shift in knowing
Mhm.
so that I am capable and that just in turn fed that confidence of if I see something so that I like and that it then resonates to what I want to become and do, that I should fully feel confident in then going forth and then trying to make that happen.
Yes. Yes. I love it. So one of the things that well, when I asked you at the beginning of us working together, I had you share a bit about what you were struggling with, and the confidence was one of the things, right? And among all of the things that you shared, I said, how intense are your feelings associated with these problems on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high? And you said a 7 out of 10. Where would you say that number is now?
It is dramatically less, like a two or a three. But like those are still like I'm still working through those things, obviously. So like obviously things take time, but I have grown in and so like leaps and bounds in that regard of that I no longer feel that pain and struggle that I had that once that I've been feeling. So definitely a two or three max and that like someday zero, right? I that like think it's a journey. It's like you
Mhm.
have to reinforce that mindset all the time. It's not just a permanent switch and then you have to have that confidence so that you can make these changes and that they're going to last. And it takes work and like that is part of it too, is that you have to want that, right? And I started this process I because I knew I wanted a change, but I didn't specifically know how or what.
Mm.
And then you then like gave me those tools to implement them and feel like I had a tactical path to move ahead.
Hmm. Yes, the tactics are a big part of it too.
100%.
Last major main question.
Yeah,
Give us a couple of examples of some results that you were able to see from coaching
sure,
as a result of
sure,
coaching.
sure. Yeah. Well, and like first off, the day like breakthrough session that was huge for me because it allowed me um to to then clear out a, a lot of past baggage and that negative thoughts that I had held tightly, and then reframe those in a more positive way. So I definitely feel a lot more positive and as though there are endless opportunities out there for me. In addition to that, in terms of like tactically then applying then to jobs, and then getting out there, I've then gotten interviews. I've been getting then responses back from companies that I then want to work with, right? So as far as a career result, like huge step forward because that is where it starts. So that you have to begin that long journey because it is a very long journey of starting to take out those negative feelings and replacing them with positive ones and then doing the work to get out there and find those opportunities that you want to have. So I'm still then on that journey, but like I feel totally confident that I'm like going to achieve that that my goal and will have the 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 perfect role for me in the near future. So yeah.
You haven't mentioned stuttering at all. Do you not want to say that?
Oh, yeah, it's a good one too. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's
It's just
okay.
like I was like just trying then to keep it, I guess, focused on job stuff. But yes, so
Well, that is, I
yeah,
mean,
no, fair.
it
Yeah,
that is
because it was something that we had like talked about a lot, and I I I guess it's because I have felt like I have made such great like strides there, and I'm able to do something like this that it didn't come to mind because I've been able to speak a very lot more fluently. But yes, so I stutter. I have since I was three, and then during our that first few sessions, right? Like I was not able to get a sentence out that kind of fluently, and that was a big part of the negative feelings I held a, against myself, and then what I felt was possible for me in terms of life and in then my career. But then during this journey, like I have totally shifted my mindset on that, of that I used to feel it being a very negative part so of my life. And then now I act like I see it as a positive, of that it is part of that in my superpower that allows me to one, feel empathetic, and two, I know that I am doing the work that needs to be done, and I'm super proud of that, it has shown me that if you do these things, that change is possible, and that it is so satisfying, so and then gratifying too, of that once those things start so to take hold, and feel true to you, that they are true. So it has been a complete shift, and obviously now I'm like talking like fluently, not all the time, of course, but again, that's part of it. Of that, it's always going to be a journey, and then something so that you need to work on, and then remind yourself that it is possible to change, and that then when you do, it feels way better than like you could ever think it would.
Mm. If you had to describe how much coaching helped
Yeah,
your speech, how much
yeah.
would you say?
Oh man, I still remember the question that you like said, of that, like, do you believe that you can stop stuttering? And I had never thought of that as a question I I could ask myself.
Mm.
And it truly shocked me, because I had never heard that said in all of my speech therapy, in all the work I've done in the past 30 years on speech. I had never heard anyone ask that. And that was truly like a watershed moment. Because I even brought that back to my like speech therapy,
Oh.
and like to my speech therapy, to my speech therapist, excuse me, and said, "Is this something that you ask clients?" Because that to me is where it all starts. Of that, if you think it is possible, it can be possible.
Uh-huh.
And I'm shocked it had never come up in my speech sessions, because that was so foundational in allowing me then to change that mindset, and then make strides in feeling more like fluent, confident, and capable. So that like it's hard to quantify then, because I feel like now I embody that as just my so like as my a mindset on speech of that if you believe it's possible to stop or just change your speech pattern, it is.
Mhm.
So that has been huge for me, and truly it changed my life in that aspect because that was just a big moment and then one that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Good. I love this. And last, you shared that this has also had positive implications in other areas of life. So could you just briefly speak to that?
Sure. And of course, yeah, I think that it all starts with, but so you have to start somewhere, right? And then starting that then with career feels a lot more like tangible. Of course, like so we all work, and there are specific tactics there that like you can use. But what I didn't so realize up front was how that would cascade down to all the other parts of my life of like physical of so relationships as well, and that it is not just about shifting your like mindset of then what's possible at a job. It's about shifting your then like mindset about life and then about fine-tuning that towards positivity the whole way through. So I've already seen that happen of that I am working out more. I am interacting with others on a more positive and than like meaningful way. So it's not just job, it is life, and the impacts of that are so satisfying because it is truly a life change that feels as though I so so it feels like I've then got momentum on all of these other parts of my life that I wasn't even planning on. Then like when we started this process, but it just came more natural as we cleared out those negative thoughts about job. It then gave me brain space to then focus on these other parts that I felt that I was lacking in and that I wanted that so and and that I wanted to change, excuse me. So by doing that, it it gave me the confidence of if I'm making all these changes in my jobs or my job hunt, then I can make those changes in these other parts of my life that I wanted to as well.
Absolutely. As we close out here, do you have any final thoughts that you want to share?
Definitely work with Elena. She is a rock star and then really like knows the ins and outs of then one career path goals and the tactical steps that are needed to do that on top of the NLP knowledge is truly unique, and it is something that I didn't find in a lot of my researching of 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 coaches. So she has a unique approach that has truly changed my life. So, and I hope it does for then many others too.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. It means so much to me for you to share your experience with everybody listening. And of course, I'm thrilled to, you know, see all of the great positive benefits that you're having in your life.
Thank you.